There's a rather famous essay, the unreasonable application of the uncharacteristically reasonable application of math to science. And it was this sort of philosopher talking about, isn't it strange that in a world that seems so chaotic, we can use math to accurately predict future events based on just observation we see in the universe. And I would like to take that same idea and maybe stretch it a little, maybe warp it out of its original context and do some work with it that's a little different. The unreasonable historicity of Christianity is problematic for some people. St. Peter, as he's talking to whoever he's writing this letter to, he's going, we are not the orchestrators of cleverly devised myths. You got to imagine, there's two major religions going on around the Jews at the time that St. Peter is operating. It's the vestiges of Hellenistic Greek religion and the full-blown exercise of Roman religion. And they do have cleverly devised myths. They have stories. Actually, if you study the difference between the Greeks and the Romans, the Greek versions of the stories are very basic, primordial, more emotional. And the Roman versions of the same stories, right? The Roman versions of the stories written by the Roman orators are so much more elaborate. There's greater character development. There's more speeches. These, in the earlier stories, the gods are forces of nature. They're referenced, but they're not characters. But in the Roman stories, they're very much alive and active characters, right? You see actual speeches from Zeus. You don't see it in the Greeks. But all of the Greek myths take place in a long time ago. They all happen in this fuzzy, they either happen in the era of men, in which the gods never seem to appear except in these fuzzy visions, or the stuff that they did happened a long, long time ago. And yet, St. Peter is saying, this story of the Transfiguration, that wasn't a long time ago. That was 20 years ago. And I was there. I was there. You gotta imagine these people receiving these letters in the Gospels. They could, if you wanted to, you could go find John and ask him yourself. Many of these people who received these early letters, they saw Paul. They met Peter. Probably saw their demise. And then for 100 years, we had people who either saw firsthand Jesus or his apostles. Jesus is one of the most historically referenced and recognizable characters. There's more written about Jesus than any other human being that has ever existed. His existence is undoubtable. We have, in fact, they go out of their way at the beginning of all of the Gospels to help you triangulate the birth of Jesus or the events of the Acts of the Apostles. When so-and-so was governor, when so-and-so was emperor, when so-and-so was king. And all of that is to help align, they didn't have years like we do, obviously. They really didn't have years like we do. Jesus was not born on 0 AD, right? They don't know nothing about the year of the Lord. Okay? What they did was they dated things based on who was emperor, and it would have been the 13th reign of so-and-so, which has made it really hard to date ancient manuscripts, because what if the numbering system is off? But our system works much better. But they go out of their way to make sure that you can tell this happened. Because everything else, look, if the resurrection didn't happen, St. Paul makes this really clear, if the resurrection didn't happen, this whole thing is worthless. And the whole of our faith teeters on the actual historical, these things happened. And unlike any other world religion, well, this stuff happened. There's no veil. There's no secrets. There's no special knowledge. Everything that you need to know, everything that can be known about Catholicism is out there and out in the open. Because Jesus Christ desired himself to be known. Because those things really happened.